Uh, this is my presentation for the data mining course, exploring a dataset using Orange data mining. So I use the Comprehensive Rapid Literacy Assessment 2025-2026 dataset. So it contains the aggregated results of the standardized reading assessment administered to grade 1 to 3 learners in the country, nationwide level, from the beginning of school year and then up to the end of school year. It's used for monitoring the literacy performance and guiding interventions. So I use the Orange data mining, and here are some of the generated uh, charts. So in this bar chart, you'll notice that there is a distribution of the participating schools, and the highlighted one is the La Union. There are 175 participating schools. So, so you will notice there the you can identify the frequency, and you can in this using this distribution or bar chart, you can perform basic aggregation, and it helps us um, uh, identify the regions or divisions which has uh, which has more learners or students who underwent the said assessment. Now, another type of distribution, it's split by division. Similar thing. You'll notice there that the top participating school division is Leyte, which has 548 schools. In La Union, 175, Baguio 43, Mountain Province 14. But of course, there's a lot more. And here, this has been slotted in the declared language of instruction. You'll notice there's a difference in the color of each bar, and the, there's a there's a legend at the top right to show the language used as the medium of instruction in these uh, these areas. So in La Union itself, 163 are using Ilocano in the language of instruction. 12 are using Tagalog. And then there's this box plot. Okay, and so it's also called the box and whisker plot. It's a simple way to summarize the distribution of a dataset using 5E stats. So here, on each language of instruction, um, the provinces are plotted in each bar. Okay, so you can use this in detecting variability, the skewness, and outliers in the language usage. You can use this for summarizing the distribution using quartiles and median. It can also be used for identifying inconsistency in language policy implementation across the region. Now there's this spiralogram. Sometimes we call it the radial spiral chart. It's a data visualization that displays the hierarchical and multi-level categorical data in spiral or concentric circular layout. you'll notice there that you, there's color uh, color level represents uh, the instances, and each row on the spiral or the arc represents a language, and each slice there represents a region. So you'll notice if you check Tagalog language, it is spread out on different uh, regions, okay? And it's the only language that which is being used in most of the regions. And in Kabampangan, yeah, and Ilocano, Ilocano, it's in Car and Region One, Region Two. Yeah, okay. So you can use this spiralogram to reveal the hierarchical and proportional dominance. It encodes the multi-level categorical data in compact structure. It can use for supporting regional planning by highlighting linguistic concentration. And then there's this mosaic display. It's a visualization used to show the relationship between categorical variables, frequency, category, and hierarchical grouping. So it uses this rectangular um, grouping by region, by division, and then by language. And if you hover above each instance, you'll notice the distribution. So when can we use, or where, how can we use the mosaic display or the categorical relationship diagram for visualization? So it can help us to detect associations between categorical variables. Um, you can use proportional areas to represent joint distribution. It can help identify which combinations require interventions. And on this succeeding slides, it uses the violin plot. Um, the violin plot captures the distribution shape, density, and multimodality of literacy levels. Can be used for combining kernel density estimation with summary stats. It enables comparison of literacy outcomes across languages to guide instructional strategies. So you'll notice here on each language of instruction use, there it represents the percentage of also dense reading at low emerging level on their uh, these learners have very limited reading ability. They struggle with recognizing the letters or sounds. They struggle with reading simple words. They often need full support and basic instruction. So you'll notice here it's the data. And high emerging level, so they are beginning to develop basic reading skills. They can recognize some words, can read simple text slowly, and they can still make mistakes or frequent errors. So the density on each of the increases, but it's below 30% by average, or perhaps below 20% on average. Transitioning level, these are uh, levels where they are moving toward independent reading, can read short passages, can understand that basic meaning. Fluency and comprehension are inconsistent. It's pretty spread out on each, in some of the you'll notice the Buray. There's a lot of data there in Tagalog. So most are on 30% up to 40 to 50% on the transitioning level. But you'll notice we will go back to the lower merging level. Yeah, there. So in Ilocano, in Tagalog. But noticeably somewhere here in Sambal, there's a high percentage of low emerging level which needs intervention. Developing level, learners are approaching proficiency, can read more smoothly, they can understand most of what they read or with fewer errors, better comprehension. Um, so in this, so there's a small percentage of that on uh, various languages of use in instruction. But you'll notice there are some languages that has a high assessment. In Ilocano, there is even 100%. Okay, there's another scatter plot. So we can use scatter plot to identify the relationships, the clustering, and the dispersion patterns. It is used for examining the correlation between enrollment size and literacy levels. We can also detect high risk schools, low performance despite the large cohorts. Okay. This is for grade 1, developing level in mother tongue, high emerging level transitioning, grade 1 developing level in mother tongue, low emerging levels. Okay. So, so this is grade 3 developing level in English with regression lines. So yeah, so the scatter plot reveals linear relationships and strength of association. So it applies for regression modeling and correlation analysis. It enables prediction of literacy outcomes based on the school size and the language context. Then there's this linear projection visualization. It is a method of representing high dimensional data in a lower dimensional space by forming new variables as linear combinations of the original variables. So we can use this linear projection for dimensionality reduction. It identifies dominant variance directions in multi-variable data. In terms of data analytics, it reduces dimensionality while preserving the linear structure. On the decision support, it simplifies complex dataset for easier interpretation and monitoring. So there's another advanced visualization, TSNE visualization. It's a high dimensional embedding. Um, this can discover clusters, outliers, and similarity structures among schools. So data analytics applies nonlinear dimensionality reduction to preserve the local relationship. For the decision support, it identifies the schools that are at risk. It can detect consistent performers and it can support targeted interventions based on similarity profiles. So I'll have a demo of the orange data mining app afterwards.